Hi, my name is Quincy Green, and I am part of Group 3. Our topic is adolescent eating disorders. I'll be discussing the statistics and epidemiology of eating disorders in adolescents. Prevalence. It is estimated that 8 million Americans have an eating disorder. 7 million women and 1 million men. 1 in 200 American women suffers from anorexia. 2 to 3 in 100 American women suffers from bulimia. Nearly half of all Americans personally know someone with an eating disorder. It's pretty dramatic. Nearly half of all Americans personally know someone with an eating disorder. Do you know someone who is suffering from an eating disorder? I remember I had a friend back at Drexel when I was a student. He was on the wrestling team. And I noticed that he tended to eat salads, zero-fat meals, and he would frequently get up from the table and go to the bathroom. And, we all found it odd and wondered, first of all, he's pretty thin, very little fat on his body, but he would be eating salads and just saying, oh yeah, I'm full. And there was no way he could be full. He would consistently get up probably every 5 to 10 minutes to go to the bathroom. He'd come back, wiping his mouth, and he would sit down and resume part of his meal. Looking back now, I realized that this young man definitely was suffering from bulimia, and I think it was triggered by his participation in wrestling. Oftentimes they have to be weighed before a match, and your weight determines your class, and I noticed that before meets it just seemed like he would be going to the bathroom more often, and I guess he was throwing up so that he could force his body to lose weight. I tell you this example because an estimated 10 to 15% of people with anorexia or bulimia are males. Often we think of anorexia, bulimia, body dysmorphia, eating disorders only affecting women, but it also affects a large proportion of men. In adolescents, anorexia is the third most common chronic illness. The third most common. 95% of those who have eating disorders are between the ages of 12 and 25. These are adolescents. These are the adolescents that we see in our schools. These are the adolescents we see in after-school programs. These are the same adolescents that we see at Temple, at Drexel, at Penn. 95% of those who have eating disorders are between the ages of 12 and 25. 50% of girls between the ages of 11 and 13 see themselves as overweight. These are the students that we'll be working with in our middle and high schools. Half of them will think of themselves as overweight. 80% of 13-year-olds have attempted to lose weight. This is pretty dramatic. I'm wondering if many of them are influenced by shows like America's Next Top Model, by models like Kate Moss, who are considered waif, or even by Twiggy. She made appearances on America's Next Top Model. She was known for her very waif body frame. Young girls everywhere in our country and around the world are looking at these individuals and wanting to be like them. At 13 years old, attempting to lose weight is pretty troubling. This is a time where your body is still changing. You're going through puberty. You may try to lose weight, but your body could be still, coming into its own level of metabolism, its own changes in body shape, in body fat distribution. So attempting to lose weight at this age is pretty concerning. Eating disorders have the highest mortality rate of any mental illness. It's pretty sobering. A study by the National Association of Anorexia Nervosa and Associated Disorders reported that 5 to 10% of anorexics die within 10 years after contracting the disease. 18 to 20% of all anorexics will be dead after 20 years, and only 30 to 40% ever fully recover. Anorexia and bulimia are deadly diseases. These are mental illnesses that can kill. The mortality rate associated with anorexia nervosa is 12 times higher than the death rate of all causes of death for females 15 to 24 years old. 20% of people suffering from anorexia will prematurely die from complications related to their eating disorder, including suicide and heart problems. As I read these stats to you, I'm struck by immense emotions, I gotta be honest. These are the young people that we work with. These are young people that we will be educating. Educators, teachers, professors, everywhere need to be aware of these statistics, because these are the young people who are sitting in your classrooms. They are dealing with these issues. These issues are not just an issue of vanity. These are not just issues of self-worth and self-esteem. These are mental illnesses. They are classified in the DSM-4 and DSM-5. These are major problems. These stats tell you that this is an issue that needs to be addressed in our school systems, in our colleges and universities. Rates of minorities with eating disorders are similar to those of white women. Often we think that, anorexia, bulimia are issues that only affect Caucasian women. I'll be honest, I'm one of those people. I thought before this project that anorexia, bulimia were issues that primarily impacted communities of, Caucasian individuals. Yet these rates are about the same as they are for white women, African American women, Latino women. Native American women are facing eating disorders at the same rates as white women. 74% of American Indian girls reported dieting and purging with diet pills. Native Americans face lots of health disparities, including alcoholism, mental health issues, low employment rates. Yet somehow eating disorders has made its way into Native American culture, impacting Native American girls at rates that are pretty alarming. In 1994, Essence magazine reported that 53.5% of their respondents, African American females, were at risk of an eating disorder. These rates and this illness, eating disorders, impact white women, they impact African American women, they impact Latino women, they impact Native American women. Eating disorders are one of the most common psychological problems facing young women in Japan. This is even an issue that affects Asian countries, Asian communities. This is an international problem. This is an international illness. This is something that affects everyone around the globe. Not just women, but also men. Not just white women, also African American women, African American men, Latino women, Latino men, Native American women, Native American men. This is a major issue, and I'm thankful that our presentation will help to bring more awareness, will shed light on this issue, and will debunk some of the myths that this is an issue that only affects women. This only affects white women. It also affects people of color and folks around the world. Thank you for your time. And this is Quincy Green, part of Group 3, discussing adolescent eating disorders and the statistics related. Thank you.